Who decides what is cool? Is it consumers or is it marketers? Think about the last time you bought a product that you thought was cool. What made you buy that particular product? Do you think it is by chance that you and many other consumers had the same idea that this particular product was cool? This presentation will investigate consumer behavior and how marketers use knowledge of this behavior to direct consumers' needs and wants. It is vital for marketers to understand how consumers behave in making purchasing decisions. The consumer decision-making process is the general process consumers follow to make purchasing decisions. Meet Bob. Let's follow Bob through the consumer decision-making process. The first stage of consumer decision-making is when a consumer identifies a desire for something they do not have, known as need recognition. What prompts the consumer to believe they need or want something they do not have? This desire can be triggered by the senses. Bob feels hungry, recognizing the need or want for food. So what does Bob do next to satisfy this need? Consumers will begin to search for information to satisfy this newly identified need or want. The search may start within the consumer's mind or by asking a friend. Perhaps the consumer will consult with an external source of information to find a product to satisfy their need. Bob decides he will search the internet to find something to eat in his area. Bob has narrowed down his search and will now evaluate the alternatives to make a decision. Bob will have to evaluate the options he has to make a decision of which fast food item he will purchase to satisfy his needs. Bob has now reached the stage where he will make a purchasing decision. Bob now enters the post-purchase stage of the decision-making process, where he reviews his decision. It is important for marketers to understand the purchasing decision-making process to effectively engage consumers. At each stage of decision-making, marketers have the opportunity to attract the consumer to purchase their product by understanding the factors that influence consumers to make purchasing decisions. The influential factors can be categorized as cultural, social, individual, or psychological. Let's take a look at how these factors influence consumer decisions. Culture makes up the beliefs and values of a society that is acceptable. Understanding different cultures, subcultures, and social classes will help marketers to identify consumer needs and wants, and the best medium to communicate their product to reach their target market. Marketers know that humans are social beings and rely heavily on opinions of others when making purchasing decisions. Understanding how social influences affect consumer decision-making is vital to success for marketers. Trendsetters and opinion leaders are trusted individuals who have a particularly strong influence over others' opinions. These people can be social media personalities, celebrities, or even high-profile personalities. Individual factors such as age, gender, lifestyle, and self-image all play part in influencing consumer decision-making. Perhaps the biggest influential factors in consumer behavior are psychological factors. These factors react to certain cues of information received and how they are processed by the consumer. The subconscious attitudes and beliefs of consumers will play a part in the decision-making process alongside perception and learning factors. How items are perceived or interpreted will obviously have an effect on a consumer's decision. Subliminal learning factors such as repetition will impact a consumer's decision as well. So, how do marketers use these factors in marketing? By understanding at each level of decision-making what influences a consumer's decision, marketers can advertise their product to best meet the needs of the consumer.
Created using Powtoon.